All right, here we are with just 3 weeks to go. So the time is ticking by and we're not far away from Ironman Cairns 2026. So for those of you new to the channel, welcome. For those who've been here before, welcome back. My name is Trindall. I'm a 57-year-old triathlete based in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. And as the title says, I'm training for Cairns June 2026, which as I'm making this video today is only 12 days away. So this is a recap of my 3 week to go training week. So I do these videos for a few reasons. One is just a little bit of a log for me to look back on in the future. And two, if anyone can get any information that can be helpful for them in their triathlon training and racing, all good. So let's dive straight into it. Monday in week 3 to go was a complete rest day. So I do these sometimes every week or every second week, depending on how I'm feeling. If it's not a full rest day, I will do just a 60-minute easy bike ride. So this week in particular, I took the full rest day. So Tuesday, we kicked it off with a 90-minute indoor ride. So I just did a zone 2 ride on the Rovi course, rolling over on Cairns itself, on the Cairns Ironman course. So just 90 minutes, nice and easy, just enjoying the ride and enjoying the scenery on the TV screen. So at lunchtime, I hit the pool and it was an interval swim. So in that swim, what I did was a 400-meter warm-up, then 10 by 100s off 2 minutes. In those, I'm coming in at about 140 at the moment, so just keeping it fairly conservatively. 20-second rest and then going again. At the end of those 10, what I do is a full 1 minute recovery, or just a rest, standing there basically at the wall. And then I did 5 times 200s, but this time I did them with pull buoy and paddles. So just putting a little bit of pressure on those shoulders and arms in a fatigue state. Leaving off 4 minutes, coming in on 3:30. So yeah, not pushing them, but just controlled. And end of that, just a simple 100 freestyle and then out of the pool. So that finished my day for Tuesday. So Wednesday morning, I had a 60-minute zone 2 run. Now, I normally do a little bit of a longer run on the Wednesdays, but on the Friday prior to this, I had that little bit of a calf knotted up. So this is my first run back since then. I literally didn't do my weekend run at all. And all I did was basically swim and bike since then. So this is just giving that calf a little bit of recuperation time, given that we're so close to the race itself. So it felt pretty good in the run itself. Didn't feel any niggles or anything, but I did cap it at that 60 minutes and I did stay in that zone 2, not pushing the pace there at all. So on to Thursday, back on the indoor bike again, which you can see behind me here as well. So just a 90-minute indoor session there. So it's a 15-minute progressive warm-up. And then I do 3 by 18 minutes at 175 watts with a 3-minute recovery at 130 watts between each. And at the end of that, I do a 15-minute warm down. So that gives me that full 90-minute session. Nothing special there, just once again using the Rovi platform, setting on ergo mode and then working through those particular intervals. So on to Friday. Friday was a nice easy 30-minute run. So I've been running not too bad lately, but I'm sort of really cautious with this calf. So I don't really want to push it this close. So it was just a 30-minute, a little bit of a tempo. So upper zone 2. Very, very happy with the way I pulled up at the end of that run. And that was all I did on the Friday. So Saturday, jumped into a 3-hour bike ride. At the 2-hour mark in that ride, so firstly, most of that ride was done in zone 2, but at the 2-hour mark, I put in a 20-minute effort, a little bit above Ironman pace, just to sort of get that body going there. And then the last bit of the sort of last 40 minutes, 30 minutes of that was just literally back in zone 2 and warming down those last sort of 5 minutes. So I felt really good at the end of the 3 hours. Actually made a comment to my wife that I didn't even feel like I'd ridden it all that day. So really good place to be heading where we are. And we're literally in the taper now, so we're starting to feel okay. Sunday, I kicked off in the morning with what was going to be a 2,500 metre endurance swim in the pool in a wetsuit. And once again, I'm doing those for the heat adaptation. It's 28 degrees in the local pool. And I'm just, we're going to be wearing the wetsuit in Cairns with a 24 degree water. So I know when I do get to Cairns and I'm in the wetsuit in that warmer water there, I'm not going to be overheating. So I ended up doing 2,600 metres because once again, I lost count, which I normally do, and find I end up with anything from 1 to 300 metres extra because I get focused on other things and not concentrating during the swim. But come out quite good, felt quite comfortable, and just rolled the arms over. So afternoon, I was going to do a 90-minute run on Sunday afternoon, but what I found was about the 50-minute mark, that calf knotted up again. So rather than risking anything, I actually pulled the pin at that point, and I'd run from home down here in Margate up to Scarborough. So I was 7 or 8k from home. Got on the phone and rang the wife to come and get me. Come home and put ice straight on it. So today being the Monday, and Monday afternoon now, it's still a little tight. So I've and what I did there, I ran in the ASIC Magic 4 shoes, which I was planning on racing in Cairns, but I've made the decision now that I'm actually going to not race in those, and I'm just going to go back to the old Keanu training shoe for Cairns. I know they're not going to be as quick, but for some reason the 2 runs that I've done in those in the ASIC Magics both ended up with a really tight calf. So maybe they're a little too aggressive for me, or maybe I don't know. It's just not worth it trying to push it any further than I am already heading this close to the race. So, and race day, I'll just use those shoes as well. So I'm going to not run until probably Thursday morning. If it's feeling okay, then I'll only do a very light run as well, given that we're 2 weeks out now. So, well, that'll be less than 2 weeks. So, and that was it for the week. So there was, it's a pretty light week. It turned out at about a 10-hour training week in total. So volume's still there a little bit, but now it's not really about building the fitness. It's really just about maintaining and also a little bit of heading into taper now. So all the work's been done, and it's just staying healthy, staying free of injury, which, I'm borderline there, so I've got to be careful. And fingers crossed, that'll right itself in the next few days, and we can just baby it, and race day it'll be really good. So anyway, if you've made it this far in the video, thanks so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you have any comments, feel free to throw them down in below there. I do answer them. And until next time, guys, stay safe out there.